Hi, Mike. First one in.
Hi there.
Hello.
There's. Hey, Steve.
Ross, I was thinking of getting your DVD, butterfly DVD thing. Is there anything, any other material I should get supplemented? Because I don't really play butterfly, but when I get back, I want to look into getting into butterfly guard.
Well, I think that's the DVD is probably a good kind of basic start to it.
Cool.
I'm one of the worst people to ask for, like, what do you watch extra material, because I don't really do it. Nathan would be a good one.
He's self-created.
Nathan K.
Oh yeah. He's really He's talking about it the other day. Was I didn't get half the stuff he was talking about. It's too advanced for me.
Question I asked Nathan. Or Steve. Or Igor.
Oh yeah. Cool.
Susie's just outside doing the clap. She'll be here in a minute. We'll continue with some butterfly stuff today. Think of some stuff. Hello. Warm day, isn't it?
It is hot.
I love how English people can't deal with heat.
All right, we're not used to it.
I can't deal with it. I like London when it's miserable.
When it's more like Wales, you mean?
Yeah, it rains all the time.
Yeah. London just feels stuffy when it's hot.
Yeah, it's cold, doesn't it?
Yeah.
No air conditioning, that's the problem.
And the tube in the heat, my God.
Oh.
Don't have to do it now, but when it's hot and you're on the tube, it's horrible. There she is. Kicking me to do something. Right.
Good leggings, Susie.
Pardon?
Good leggings.
Oh, thank you. It's got a unicorn fighting a dinosaur.
The dinosaur's got laser beams on his head.
Naturally.
Obviously.
Historically, yeah. Right, let's whip it then. So, get onto your knees. So, obviously,
Actually,
thank you. So again, I can't stress enough that you kind of sequence your attacks in butterfly. It's very common to have people coming in with fairly low head positions, looking up at you with their elbows turned in hard, to their rib cage, making it very difficult to work openings. So the more transitions between separate attacks, the wider, the bigger the spaces you create for yourself. So last week we started with, on Monday, we started with a collar tie. If we're able to pull their head underneath the line of ours, we can move in to our front headlock. Key thing there is this angle on our hip and my back like this. You want your hips away, leaning forward over the back of the head. Worst thing can happen is when we get here, is Susie throws this arm on the other side behind us and then flattens us out. But when she moves, but she doesn't want to just move forward, so she moves forward and brings these knees up to her elbows. Here. So she's not, if she left her knees behind, so back, I'd be able to kick her away and create space. So whenever you're looking to flatten somebody in a butterfly guard, you've got to shut down the hip, so you go underneath, your elbow on this side hits the hip. Your shoulder drives through, putting the back on the floor, and then your knees whip up to make contact with your elbows. Your job here is to control your opponent's hips. That's your first objective. Your elbows have to go down tight, and your knees have to come up to connect with your elbows to flatten them out correctly. So me having my hips back and pulling the head down makes this very difficult for Susie to achieve. Okay, so she shoots in here and tries to flatten me. Because of the angle on my body and my hips being back, I'm able to lean in and make it difficult for her to stop the position. She's really trying there. So that gives me a second then to start working my neck attacks. What I don't want to see, people snapping down, falling backwards, and then there's somebody shutting those hips down like this. I can cover briefly how we pass off of that position. So, it's much a head battle for the person on top as it is for the person on the bottom. So if Susie's driving her head forward into mine, I'm looking to drive into hers like this, flattening. So if I slip underneath Susie's head, I go in on the hips, both elbows looking to get to those hips. You can link up body locks with like S grips if you want, or the elbows are fine. So elbows to the hips. You're making more work for yourself the higher up you go on your opponents. If you try flattening them from up on their back, it's no good. Elbows are targeting the hips. So as we come under, there. Now from here, I can almost pull my opponent underneath me instead of moving my elbows up. Instead of moving my knees up. So here I can pull my elbows down to my knees. And there's my shutdown. So now Susie tries to move. Very difficult. What she can do, move. Come on. She can't move. What she could do to try and disrupt this position is screw up the line of my head. I want to keep my head in the middle. Susie can make it hard for me to control her. She pushes my head off center. So this now, it kind of deactivates the strength in my arms. Here. Like you wouldn't be picking up, you wouldn't be doing a deadlift with your head turned like this. You want everything in a straight line. So the more kind of twist she can put on your spine, the weaker your arms get, the harder it will be to maintain that flattened out position. So here, keep your head in the center. If she tries to push it one way or the other, you drive into that arm, keeping your head in the middle. So, and then you see how I'm always really active. So Susie can try to push my head off center. She can try catching me out to the other side. I'm ready with my head the whole time, staying in the middle. Okay? So hips, knees high, head in center. If she does manage to push away, you're in a bit of trouble here. You could potentially get arm wrapped and attacked. So if Susie manages to push your head off, you can always move back, hands on the hips to a safer position. You don't want to be caught with your arm extended. So now, problem we have is 2 butterfly hooks are still in. How do we go about clearing these? So we're going to stamp our hip and sprawl. keep your head in the center here, and I'm going to sprawl my right leg back, looking to drop my right hip to the floor. This can be done really quite violently, and when that hip hits the ground, you will have cleared that hook. Now here, keep my head in center, with this leg facing out. My next job is to eat this knee. This knee is out ahead of my hip. I'm not passing here. So we sprawl, we face this leg out to the side, and now we move slightly to the side the hook is still in. And what you'll see is, if I'm in front of her, the knee is high. If I start moving my hip this way, the knee drops. Elbow tight, looking to drag this knee between my legs. Now from here, this knee will come up immediately to the hip. So I don't need this arm here anymore. I can start moving up a little bit higher. If she hasn't got any half guard at all, I can step around the leg and pass. So it sits up. I really like body locks from this position. So if I flatten my opponent, I'll be looking to connect my hands. I don't hit it often from this seated position. I'll show you the entries that I use. I use a lot of different passes to set it up, but it's a good place to start. So we come under. You can link up an S grip, preferably. So that's S grip here. The side that you're passing to, you want the connection on that side. So I'm passing to my left. I want to drag my right arm through as deep as possible, with as much of my left arm free. So I'm under, I flatten with my hand on the, so my fingers you'll be able to see are here, buried this arm, and most of this elbow is free. What this will make easier is this leg getting sucked between my legs. If my hands are in the middle, I wouldn't have enough arm to pull this through. So heads on center, I sprawl here violently to clear that butterfly hook out. Now from here, I can drag my left elbow down, getting this knee as low to the floor as possible and as straight as possible. So now I can step up and over that leg. From here, my left knee will come in and meet the hip. From here, if she's just got a butterfly hook, I can bring my lower leg out and underneath to a leg drag with this body lock. And she ain't going anywhere. So if she tries moving, like your body just doesn't allow it. That body lock's super powerful. So you can look to set this up a little bit. She's been really good with her head. You come in, a quick little sharp pull. So Susie's worried about me potentially getting on her neck. Pull down, she pops up. I'm waiting for it. There's my window. I come in, link my S grip. And now from here, I either bring my knees up or I pull her under me. So here, I'm going to walk up with my knees. Shimmy back into the camera. Having flattened my opponent, I need to clear that butterfly hook first, staying strong with my head. Looking away in this direction helps a lot. So I look to the side that I'm passing. Yeah, not so good. Listen to a belly button. Sprawl and base. This elbow sucks this knee through. We step up and over that knee, left knee to the hip. And now if the butterfly hook is clear, this leg steps under and behind her knee into a leg drag. With the body lock, you've got them flattened, it's done. How does everyone feel about that body lock pass?
Yeah.
When you, if they do get that her left hook back in, as you transition over her right knee,
What
do you just then go back to the hip again and flatten her out again and then go, or?
What I do. So what Tom is asking is, from this position, you stamp out, and sometimes in collecting this, soon you'll get a left butterfly back in. So a left hook's now in. From here, what I would do is move my head up to her chin, leaving my body lock where it is. I put a shin staple on this near side, and it's quite a nasty part, so I'm going to be very careful doing it this easy. From here, I will raise my butt, and this shin staple will cut to the other side. So if they get that butterfly hook in, on the opposite side, go shin staple on the leg that you have control, and then knee slice over the butterfly hook.
Okay. So if you feel that hook coming in before your left leg's transitioned over her right knee, do you just get over that knee first and then do the shin staple and do what you just did then?
Well, I'd probably sprawl, if I would go, so she'll have, before I get over the right knee, she's still got this butterfly hook in, right? So if you manage to pummel the other one back in at that point, I'd look to flatten out again and then sprawl heavy to clear one leg.
Okay.
If it happens after I've collected this leg, I'll look to switch to a knee cut over the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
One of my drills in dealing with a single butterfly hook, so Susie's using it from a half guard, for instance. So turn onto your side, and then has this butterfly hook in. Yeah. Passing to the open side of the half guard, very dangerous. Gonna get swept. What I like doing is palm on the far side of her body, maybe rib cage, hip, armpit, up to you. I'll probably go midway up the body here. This hand will pin this leg, and I look to shin staple here. So very similar to the body lock, we're going to knee cut over in this direction. So if you shimmy around, so you face your head in the table. So after winning this position, butterflies here, you can always knee slice over a single butterfly. So here, I step and then cut to the other side. Eventually, I want to reverse the butterfly on my opponent. So if she's got both legs under mine, I'm not happy with this. I don't like passing off this at all, right? So I look to flatten. So I beat the head, I pull down, come up. I beat the head, I go deep with the hands and flatten my opponent. So I want to start clearing the butterfly hooks and getting my feet inside her legs. So I'll step and sprawl heavy, stepping up and around this move. If she gets that left butterfly hook in, I'll raise my shin staple, bouncing up and knee cutting over the other back. So yeah, it's one of my favorite ways of passing the butterfly, but I don't often do it from a kneeling position. I really don't like dropping to my knees in front of somebody when they're sitting up on me. Here, I definite preference to look to stand, so I've got more mobility on my legs and get that inside leg position. But a lot of people make it work from here. But if you are passing from your knees, make sure you keep your elbows tight to your hips, and you're having a head fight and a bit of a hand battle. So you can be looking to take grips, pulling on the head. So we're having a fight there. It's a grip battle, same as anything. So everyone happy with that body lock, and when you look to switch it to a knee slice to the other side? Yeah, good. I'm sweating already, so hot.
Do you think it'll be louder for the fan?
Probably. So yeah, body locks. So the times I like going for body locks, I always look for it. We covered HQ a little time ago. This is probably the most effective use of body locks in my game. People don't like it when your weight is over the top of them. So in HQ, I'm looking to flow, get pressure down through my opponent. So what they start doing, they want to be able to sit up. Their hips are stuck here. They're not attacking. They want to generate a bit of space. So they start kicking you away. And they start sitting up at the same time. There's your window. So as they kick you away and sit up, that's where I'll be dropping down into that body lock position. So a sloppy sit-ups I'm looking to really take advantage of with this body lock. I won't be going for it while my opponent's flat in the back. Obviously, you can't feed this grip in too deep if their back is flat on the floor. There, you'd have to take slightly less effective elbows on the hips kind of position and do largely the same passes. What I'm looking for, I'm fighting in HQ here, sometimes just push away and then that re-entry immediately in onto the hips for that body lock. So I really like doing that. Good. Any thoughts, guys? Any questions? Chat to me.
Yeah, when you do that pass you just did then, as you drop down to your knee, obviously your focus is getting your arms round and having that left elbow loose so you can feed her leg. But like, is your pressure mainly on the pull in her back, or is it pushing forward with your shoulder, or like where's your?
So drop in here. So it depends largely on where her legs are.
Okay.
So I am pulling her down into me. I want to, so just bring your elbows down and pull her into your shoulder, and that will be it. There's no need to raise your hips to tripod in for pressure. This pull, you know, a good body lock pass is awful. Yeah, pull in. Alternate option is to look to turn your opponent's hips the other way. So we've already covered this, I think, in one of our half guard sessions. So if she sits up. So here, off of doing it off of HQ, quite often this outside leg won't be a butterfly position, and the legs will be a lot more extended. So straighten her legs and lie back a little bit. So lie down a bit more. So the more she straightened the legs, the easier it will be for me to step this leg up and under here. So another decent pass is for me to base this leg up and turn her hips into a smash pass. From here, I can climb to mounts. So that's if her legs are quite heavily extended. You can go body lock, turn their hips the other way by bringing the leg underneath hers, turn the hips, and then walk up to a mount. Super satisfying pass. I love hitting this. So, step in, she kicks away. There's my body lock. She's extending hard. I step up and over the leg, turn in, and then step in to mount. This knee, the target will be to go underneath the hamstring and hook in the back of that knee. That's where I'll be able to control and turn those hips. Once they're turned, you've got an easy walk up to mount with that body lock. So I really like that one. One more time. We're into HQ. She kicks away. Back down again. Key things of HQ, you want a deep step and a sticky hook on the back of this leg. Good. Sometimes they'll be looking to invert to this side, like throw this leg over. If they're doing that, just take a straight arm C grip on this heel here. Make sure your shoulder is above the ankle and it won't move. She wants to flick it out over there for other attacks. So the best way of controlling this is that straight arm grip here. So now I'm pressurizing, maybe I take a seat, she starts kicking away. My butt comes up, but my head stays low. There's my entry to the body lock. If her leg is very straight, I eat it and turn her hips and then walk to a full mount. I'm releasing the body lock earlier than what I would do if I was sparring, because I don't want to put Susie's back out.
Because you're afraid of me.
Because Susie's a bit fragile.
Hey.
She's not fragile, she's terrified.
Ross, wanted to ask you about this sort of sit-up guard against standing opponents. How do you manage distance? What's your sort of leg entry strategies? Do you have any pointers?
So Susie stands up. So back out. So your head is key, and willingness. You can throw yourself underneath them as well. So I really don't mind people stepping inside my legs on playing sit-up guard or sit-up guard like this. I really like this because I can start looking to wrap it up, looking for single leg takedowns coming up here or forcing them down into my knee slice half guards. If you don't want them, step back please. If you don't want them stepping inside your legs, put it there, this heel under your butt. So as soon as you try stepping inside, really annoying. Just with this. Yeah, and I play a mix of it. Sometimes my foot will be out, baiting that inside leg. If I don't like it, I can come in here. So this foot position is massive. No inside leg position, inside leg. So Susie should be coming in with a low head position, like this. And we lean into it, like that. So collar ties and looking to snap her down and give her something to think about. Yeah. So if her head rises, yeah, I can start throwing this leg through, looking at a grapevine. It's unusual for this leg to be this far forward. Looking at grapevine here, and then playing a bit of reverse de la Riva. So I mix up my sit-up guard and reverse de la Riva. The moment I feel somebody starting to get a little bit of an advantage in the head battle, so it comes in. Okay, I don't like it. I'll frame, giving me a split second now to throw underneath and go reverse de la Riva. If we shimmy back this way again, sharp. So that's the thing. I grapevine with my lower leg, wrap it up and around the hip, catching the ankle here. Susie can't knee slice me. If she tries getting this knee to the floor and this arm is underneath my knee, try doing it, please. It will never make it to the ground. Even if she bases this leg out low and she goes digging with her head, that knee isn't going to make it. No. Back out. So Susie can, so a good way of like retaining your guard. If Susie wins inside leg position, all you do is catch the ankle. Here. Now if Susie tries throwing this knee to the floor, go on pass. Annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just catch that ankle there. Back out. Question was distance management in sit-up guard. So low head position. Yeah, things you can look for: 2-on-1 arm controls. Looking for arm drag here. Susie does not like this at all. Can lead to her trying to pull her arm out, which will then lead to me wrestling up off the ground. Big thing you want to add into your game, guys. Fantastic thing for butterfly guard and sit-up guards. You want to be threatening, go in that way. And it makes other things way easier. So for instance, right, I could take a 2-on-1 wrist grip. Susie does not like this. She pulls it out. I chase her up, headbutting her in the chest, threatening, takedowns here. She's very good. She throws her weight back at me. Here, I throw my butterfly hooks under, and now I've got leg entries. So you want to be working forcing her back that way, getting her to react, sprawling on you, killing that initial threat of the takedown in that direction. And the moment you feel any resistance to that, you're going to be falling back under your opponent for your leg attacks. And then, so you get them rocking. So Susie drops to her knees. So she's going to be really static here, really strong here. So I can go pull on the head, she pulls back. I chase up, she throws back her weight forward. Here, I go under, there's my elevation. She's hidden her legs, I pick her back. Now I'm onto an arm. And against some people, really strong people, really like Susie, really strong. You'll get them moving a little bit, and then you have to get them moving a little bit more, and a little bit more. Every change of direction, backwards and forwards, you'll open them up fractionally more. So I was going to cover it's called a dickhead sweep. So essentially, off of double unders here, okay, forward, you link up a body lock to an S grip, and your head comes up under your opponent's chin, and you look to bow their back around your head, like this. You pull the back into you, and they fall backwards. Yeah, it's horrible. It comes up under the chin. Susie can counter this. So you see how I get up? Butterfly hook out to my butt. Here, leg out, knee on the ground. So I'm in like an S position with my legs. I pull, I drive head up. There's the bow, and there's my sweep. Susie at this point, so if she sees it here, will throw her weight forward. Here, there's no way I'm going to get it now. So what I have to do is release the body lock, switch to double C's in the armpit. This outside butterfly hook comes back in, and there's my elevation. Yeah, she might push hard off of her arms, trying to get her weight back onto her knees. The arm is left behind. There's our arm attacks. So yeah, but my butterfly became a lot more effective when I started threatening going into my opponent. Now there are downsides to that. You see how aggressive I'm being with my head. There are risks of getting caught in guillotines and kimuras. Those are the major threats when you're sitting up on your opponent. Be aware of them. Learn how to defend them if you do get caught in them. I think I covered a neck attack. I was doing a lot of neck defense stuff before this. And some kimura stuff. So you're not too freaked out when something goes wrong there. If you're fighting somebody that you know is like one of the best guys in the world at diving kimura or something, just maybe think about coming up on them. A lot of people will be looking for this to counter. As people come up wrestling off the floor, they'll be looking for submission counters. So if Susie stands up, so if I start coming up here, Susie could push my head outside and get on my neck here and get me. She could, if I'm basing on this hand to the outside, she can crumple my head inside and then look to go for a diving kimura on this arm. So this hand will switch underneath my armpit, other way, over the top, and she will forward roll. What? Forward roll. There. Now for the first diving kimura she's ever done, that's not too bad.
Sorry, guys.
So be aware of your arms and your neck. And your neck being attacked. So you can do this actually. So you slap the head and it will force Susie's arm to face out. She doesn't want for her side to hit the ground. So when I see this, the push on the head, that arm switches and goes through that hole. It's huge, right? So you see how big my target is. And what I want to do is, as I roll through, is I want my shoulder to meet the back of her shoulder. And that's what will give me good control. So push the head here. I don't link the Kimura until my back is on the floor. What? What do you mean I can't just talk somebody through a diving Kimura? It's so a big problem people have with diving Kimuras is they try throwing themselves on their side. Don't do it. You'll wind yourself every time. A diving Kimura is a forward roll. Right? It's easy. Just roll over your shoulder. Don't try landing on your rib cage. It's a straightforward forward roll. You see that error with really, really high level people.
I really cocked it up one day. I tried to do it. I can't remember who it was. It was someone really big. And as I went to dive into them, rather than them going back, they just didn't move like a brick wall, and I just tipped over the top and spiked my neck into the ground. Not good.
It was Russian Alex, wasn't it?
Backwards. Like you can't.
Yeah, it was bad.
If they're just like
yeah, I learned from my mistake.
Yeah, I made mistakes. So. You kill yourself to get these techniques right eventually.
What's the footwork for this diving Kimura? Because when people try on me, I know it's kind of coming. So what I do is I'll kind of hook the leg to prevent the forward roll.
That's good. I'll show you my defense as well. The footwork, they need to win inside leg position, and I like putting my knee in on the sternum. So you push, you step in, and then your knee will come in, and that's what helps them go backwards. Okay. So I step inside, winning inside leg position. I pop my head up above theirs as I'm pushing it off center. The foot comes in, the knee hits the sternum. That's when they start falling backwards. And now that's when I'll do my forward roll over that there. So, yeah, they've got to have inside leg position. If they don't, the dive is just too far away. It's not overly comfortable. So like you're doing a forward roll, the footwork's exactly the same. Step forward, through. Right? This time, somebody's in front of you, step in, knee hits them, they start falling backwards, and then you roll through that slot. So,
Can I have a second shot?
yeah, got it. So my defense, she pushes me and head through. This does a forward roll now. See how I catch this leg? Now we end up in this position. Susie is, if we spin this way, above me. She's got a Kimura locked up. Here. Don't use your thumbs. Another one. Neat little tip to make it very hard for your opponent to get out of this Kimura control. You want their hand between their legs. So I've got to push my like that. And the other thing you can do to make it even tighter, this top hand makes a fist. And she turns it down like this. So now I'm stuck. I can't turn in. Common error people make is they turn in immediately to get out of this position. Don't do it. If I start doing this, sitting up onto this elbow, trying to put Susie back in front of me, exactly, Susie will take my back. So unfortunately, this is an unpleasant move for Susie.
I'm sensing a theme for this evening's class.
This is, it's just the way it is. I'm sorry. All right. We have to stack them first. So feet hit the ground. You've got this hand under her leg. So this is preventing this knee coming through, taking advantage of the space you're going to give them. But before you do any turning, first thing you do is turn them the other way. And we stop here for a chat. And then I start turning in.
Is the digging of the shoulder blade into the ribs necessary?
That's exactly what you meant to do.
So in case anyone missed the detail, the really crucial part of that pass is to make sure that you really dig your shoulder into their rib cage.
Yeah, exactly. So whenever you end up in that position, don't turn. Stack first, get them facing the other way, then you can turn. If you're lucky, sometimes you'll actually armbar them as a counter. I'll show you that. I'll take all. So, right, ease up.
Ease up.
But this thumb is in the wrong place. Is it right? That's good though. Okay, so if I've turned Susie away from me like this, and so imagine I'm up on my feet like that and turn. As I turn in here and get to my knees, this arm is quite often available for me to take and arm bar. I know. So yeah, protecting against diving chimeras, they go for it, catch that leg, stack them first, turn them all the way to the other side, then you can turn. Good. So that went off in a totally different tangent than what I was expecting. But I like answering questions. You guys, it makes the class more fun for me. I hope you enjoyed it too. Any questions? We've got 5 minutes. Anything in issues?
No issue, but you were doing something before, and it crossed my mind that I'd not really thought about it that much. But where we've been doing a little bit of float passing, kicking your butt and using your hooks to get their legs. Earlier when you were in HQ and you stepped deep on one of the knees and you C-gripped her other ankle,
yeah.
Do you ever use that grip to feed your hooks with your legs?
Absolutely. So we can round here. Against people who are very comfortable defending their legs, this foot won't always be underneath me. It'll be like floating. As you might be looking to do is a Lachlan Giles entry, which is underhooking my leg like this, able in, like if I successfully talk Susie through this, so you link her hands together, he will wing this leg out, hook in and then throw in this into leg attacks. So she's inverting in that direction. Right. So I've just done a breakdown on a match where this guy was going for it on me actually a lot. So there are legit threats with your opponent inverting in this direction. If they've got a very suspiciously light leg off in this direction, and you're looking, they're going to throw it over there, C-grip, hold it where it is. And I'm not grabbing the leg, like my grips aren't really that strong. We take a C grip, and the foot is too big to slip through the C that I'm making. So we don't control up on the shin, we just allow that C to slide down until we hit the foot at the end. So now Susie wants to throw it over there, not happening. Now she can, and does it really quite well. That was almost. I really don't like inverting off this. It's not something that I really use a lot of. I don't really invert a lot. Only like to retain my guard, not really too much. So, but if you ever see a light lower leg, there are threats off in this direction, just straight arm it down. And now you can step over, feeding it to your H. Sit on it and start going for your passes. Smash passes, flow passes, whatever you want. Yeah, but good point to pick up on. Any other questions, guys?
I have a question. So if you are in the other, so if Susie's got butterfly guard and you are on your knees, is there any way that you can get from there into mount doing a sneaky thing?
Not really, unless I mean, you could just float. Yeah, I mean, you could go float past it from here. So, like, if Susie gets double unders on me, right? I go like this, hand on the floor, and make a big starfish. Now, from here, I can try winning inside leg position. So I'll start turning my knee tight. I'm trying to pummel my feet back inside my opponents. It can be hard if they've got sticky hooks, and Susie does have quite sticky hooks. But the higher I go up above them, so here, the easier it is for me to win that inside pummel. And then sometimes I can collapse down into a mount. So I'd say that would be a sneaky way. So come in. Key thing with float passing, you want your head way above theirs. The further your head travels up above their head, the easier it is to counter pummel your opponent's hooks. So they come under the head's a bit low there. So I commit my weight forward, my hands hit the ground, and I keep walking up. Now I've gone off the mat and that high. Now I can successfully win inside leg position and start clearing those hooks there. You can jump into mount as well from a standing position. I don't like doing it, so I will throw my man bits into my opponent's knees. So it's like you pull them forward. As they pull back, you project your hips like this and throw yourself through.
She was so hoping you were going to jump then.
Not a move I'm too good at. See, there's not a lot of detail in technique, but it's something you do see. Sit up, please. I guess the answer to get to mount here, particularly for like lighter people, float. Get used to getting your weight up over your opponent, starfishing, and getting your head at least a head width above your opponent. Now, pummel legs inside here. You can start clearing your opponent's hooks and dropping down into mount. So if we look at the footwork the other way around. Yeah, I throw my weight forward. If I leave my head level with Susie's, there's a chance she can pick me back with her hooks. And now I've screwed up my float passing. And also, leaving my head level with hers makes it hard for me to win this inside leg position. Now look what happens if I take another head width above her head. Now, these pummels get really big back in, please. Head above, in line with hers. Impossible to win inside leg position. Above your opponent's head, it's easy. So big thing with float passing. Get your head up and above theirs. At least the head width. It's way easier inside leg on top. Good question.
I think we should all get really good at that and then do some competitions so Ross can be coaching from the side. Make a big starfish, big starfish.
Yeah. Like that. That's so important with coaching. I've had that before. It's like, so people that I train with have asked me to coach them. It's really quite difficult if you don't know. Don't know their game. Yeah. Anyway, guys, hope you've had a fun session.
Yeah, thank you, both of you.
I loved it again.
Thank you.
Jumping in.
Thanks, guys.
There's Susie.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Cheers.
See you all. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
My favorite.